Cindy Hendricks here with GetConsulting.biz. Not only a business consultant, but a licensed esthetician, spa owner for 10 years. And I'm here today with Susan, and we are going to show exactly how you can design perfect eyebrows for someone to be very pleased with those eyebrows. So we'll begin. Okay, Susan, I'm going to design your brows with powder, okay, so that you can see in advance exactly what your brows are going to look like before we even start with the wax. With someone who has Hispanic, Asian, or Indian descent, eyebrows are a little trickier than those who aren't from those cultures. As you can see, Susan's eyebrows are very straight. And when you have very straight eyebrows, sometimes they don't cooperate with the wax, and not only do they not cooperate with the wax, but when you come in to the eyebrow right at the arch, the wax will attach itself to other eyebrows and you end up without the design that you were interested in. So to get a good design, sometimes you have to go in with scissors and you have to etch out the design. So Susan, if you want to take a look, I'm going to talk you through what I plan on doing. I'm going to come in here and raise this arch up to about there and bring it down. I'm going to take out all this hair from here up, and the same on the other brow. So we're going to end up with a really nice eyebrow with the arch starting about right here. Is that good? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the first part of your eyebrow design, and it's a part where most people miss. Now you want to remember your eyebrow wax very hot, so you don't want to burn your client. So you want to cool it for a moment. And then the other thing is, I use a hard wax. The hard wax is so much easier to work with because it doesn't require anything on top of it. Okay, that feels good. Now that's not too hot, is it? Mm-mm. So we're going to put some wax on there. Wax is just a little hot, so I've turned it down. Bless you. We're going to make sure it's not too warm. And we're going to get a good amount on there so we get all the hair off. Now, one of the things you want to do once you have gotten the wax on there is to make sure you have not attached the wax to hair you do not want to take. Big mistake a lot of estheticians make. So you want to check it before you rip. And what I'm going to do is just go in with a little snip, make sure I leave the hair I want at the arch. So when you do that, this hair is not going to be taken off. Some of the correction work I've done in the past, people have waxed the entire brow off not knowing they had attached to this hair because it's straight coming down into the place where you would put your wax. So with the hard wax, you don't need a strip across it, but you do want to hold it taut and you want to rip it across against the hair growth. You always want to come back and put your finger on the place you just waxed to control the pain. So there we have the beginning of a beautiful brow. Now the top of the brow has a little controversy. Some people say you should never wax the top of the brow. I say, why do you spend time making a beautiful brow if you're not going to make the entire brow beautiful? Why do that? So again, it's wise before you continue on to make sure you don't have any of the hair you don't want to take. As you can see, the hair grows straight, and if you go a little too far down, you're going to be taking hair that you don't want to take. So Now you see she's got hair close to the eyebrow, the hairline, so we're just going to snip that off and make sure that we don't get any hair in that eyebrow. So again, pull the skin taut, rip, apply pressure, and if you don't get it all, do the same. Now Susan probably doesn't know that didn't hurt as badly as some of the other waxes. But it didn't. Now you can see where the brow is still full. With somebody like Susan, you don't want to take them from a really full brow to a thin brow like mine, because if you did that, then she would be in shock. So to start, we would give her a little brow. Now I might go in here and take a little more off here, but before I do that, I'm going to ask her to take a look in the mirror.
Wow.
And see how that opens her eye wide open. Now do you want to take a little more off to give it a little more design, or are you comfortable with where you are there?
I think we take a little bit more.
Okay, we will do that. Now I also have a smaller wax utensil that I use to go into some tougher spots where you get a little bit more control. And then sometimes with this brow, I might go in and I might use a scissor to trim out the design I want before I wax, to make sure that I get exactly what I want. Because as you can see, the hard wax is so much easier to work than if I had to put something on top of it to rip it off. So we're just a little bit. And then what I always do is go in on places where you can't get as close as you'd like to. Of course, I'm using my Tweezerman tweezer to really get that arch. You can also go in with one of these little sticks and use the little tip. And I think for Susan's first go around at waxed brows, that's a beautiful brow to start with. And as I said, as she acclimates to a smaller brow, I think she would be very pleased to have a little less brow down the road. Now, if you look at Susan's brow, she has hair growing down a little lower on her eyelid. That's an area that you would want to ask your client if you would like to go a little lower, or if they would like to tweeze them themselves, or if they would like to just leave it. That would be a call that your client would make. And of course you can always recommend, but that's a place that's going to have a little bit more pain involved also. So there you have it, a beautiful brow, and then we'll continue on and do the other side, and hopefully you will be back to check some of the other things that we do here at Get Consulting. Thanks so much, and have a great day.